Hello, everybody. Welcome to Moon Mage. Today's tarot messages are about the full moon that is happening in Sagittarius on June 11th. So these are pick a messages connected to the energies that this full moon is bringing. I'm going to give a little bit of a brief rundown, but if you're not interested in the types of energies that this is bringing about, you can go ahead down into the description box and just pick your message, but give yourself a minute to really look at those moons and feel into which one is speaking to you using your own intuition. I feel it's very important that we do that we use our own internal compass to figure out what we really need to know. So really give yourself over to that. But for those of you that are interested, this full moon in Sagittarius is bringing about an opportunity to become fully aware of what's been lacking or missing in our lives. It's all about personal growth, personal evolution, and it's on the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius. So that's the polarity, and it's a mental axis. Sagittarius is saying, what does our higher mind want us to know? How does it want us to broaden our perspective, come to an understanding about what's personally true for ourselves, and be more philosophical with it? Whereas Gemini wants us to apply logic and reason to everything. And so there could be a little bit of a push-pull there. So be mindful of that. It's sort of like intellect and reason versus faith and trust. And so we're really going to be dealing with the polarity around those energies. It's this essentially, this full moon is all about our quest for truth and what's really true for us. And if we really are aligned with our passion, our purpose, what we actually want, is it even the same as what it used to be? And are we being honest with ourselves about that? This is a time of expression too, where we want to speak our truth without holding back, not in an aggressive, conflicting kind of way. We want to put some parameters around it, but we want to be honest and truthful and say what needs to be said in an assertive way. And that's that Gemini energy coming in too, to use that practicality and logic in a good way when we express ourselves with diplomacy, but being real, authentic, and honest in that Sagittarian fiery energy of new beginnings too, which is also coming in for us, right? If we're honest with ourselves, if we take this time to step into what is true, express it, believe it, trust it, follow it. These are big energies, and I've been saying it a lot, but this last month or so has been about a pivot point, needing to delete the shadows within, really get honest with ourselves and allowing ourselves to wonder, rather, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I following my heart? Am I really aligned with this thing that I've been putting time and effort into, or is it no longer resonating with me? Have I outgrown this? Do I need to get honest about that and say, you know what? This is no longer suiting me. This is no longer what I want for myself anymore. And I'm just going to be strong enough and brave enough to say that out loud and to actually start taking action towards it. The issue that we can come up with in Sagittarian energy is that Sagittarius really does love to ruminate, contemplate, get philosophical. And it's very good energy for finding our truth and for connecting to new ideas, inspirations, and passions, and having aha moments. It's not the best for taking action, which is where we want to look to Gemini for that. Like, going down from that higher mind, okay, I've received it, I see it, I know the truth now. How do I start taking steps towards it? That's where we want to be building a bridge from the Gemini energy into the Sagittarius energy so that we can have some harmony and cohesion. Let me just see if there's anything else I need to touch on. I wrote a few notes here about this. I will say this full moon is so potent in the sense that it's sort of demanding that we do this work. And so there's a little bit of a heads up, a caveat, that if we don't take the time to really connect to this energy, this truth, it's sort of like the universe might come in and give us a pinch that's really uncomfortable. I say this sort of thing all the time, so that we're headed in the right direction, whether this is in business, passion, purpose, relationship energy, it doesn't matter. If we're not doing the work and we're not getting really real and honest with ourselves and speaking out the truths, our truths, this energy is likely to push us towards a situation that might be a little uncomfortable, so that we have to do it. So we're forced to do it. So Be mindful of that. It's better if we say this is my choice and I made the decision to get real with myself rather than have the universe come in and give us that uncomfortable pinch. So I would say that the best thing that you can do with this energy is to allow this time to create this new vision. And it has to be rooted in truth. Keep that in mind. It must be rooted in truth, not a borrowed truth, not society's idea of what's true for you or your families or your friends or your partners, only yours. And the question I think that we should all be asking ourselves is, what am I aiming for? And is it still aligned with who I am? Right? Because if it's not, it's like this huge energy of pivot now. The time is now. It's time to get going. It's time to pull that dream down and put a vision and a blueprint around it and move towards it. Again, this could be you manifesting your ideal partnership, new friendships, community, new job, but also a very strong component here is passion and purpose. So that is my very long-winded way of explaining what this full moon in Sagittarius is likely to bring about for us, what it's asking of us. So give yourselves a second, if you stayed to watch this intro, to feel into those messages, to look at those moons and see which one is speaking to you. And I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. Let's have a look and see what this energy is stirring up for you under this full moon. I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies just to save a little bit of time in the video, but we'll look at these together. Oh, okay. You have full moon in Sagittarius coming in for you, and it says, look at the bigger picture. So because it's literally connected to the actual full moon that's happening, this could be quite potent for you. Keep that in mind. Like, looking at the big picture, widening your perspective in some way, kind of stepping back so that you can receive more wisdom and understanding is going to be really, really important for you. So you know where you're aiming, essentially. Okay, so more fire energy, and it's coming on the side of challenge, and it's Aries energy, and it says act. So you've been challenged to move forward, right? And see the bigger picture. So some of you might be experiencing a little bit of tunnel vision. So because of that, you're not able to see opportunities that lie on the outside of your comfort zone potentially. And it feels like for you guys, there's a real need at this time for you to do just this, to widen your perspective, look outside of yourself, maybe be a little bit more open to certain things or doing things a different way, perhaps, so that you can act on this thing, this whatever it is that you're working on doing, creating, or trying to manifest. Okay. Oh my goodness. So we've got third house energy. So the third house is Gemini. This is going to be a very potent and important moon for you, message 1, because you have the literal full moon in Sagittarius coming out for you. And now you have third house energy, Gemini energy. So this one's going to be very important, a pivotal moment for you to really give yourself over to widening your perspective and seeing the big picture, looking at pieces that you might have missed, some sort of communication that you either need to receive or give. I do feel like for more of you, it's going to be about receiving some form of communication and then acting on it, right? Even if it's not what you had in mind for what it is you want to do, create, move towards. I feel like for you guys, there's a bit of a heads up that it's going to look a little bit different than what you thought. And then that's okay. It's sort of like divine intervention. Like they know better what's going to work better or what's the best way to move through your situation. So being open to spiritual communication, I think, too, for some of you. Either way, the main energy here is to look at the bigger picture, zooming out to see all the working pieces so that you can take action. And then there's this communication energy that comes with that. Okay, what's the fire card here? Blue Dragon from the Pleiades. Prepares you to accept source healing, accept a heart activation, give and receive heart healing. Wow. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I'm feeling like connect to these energies here with this. I think a lot of you are more in the head energy, which is Gemini, which is very intellectual, logical. And and needing to drop down into your heart space seems super necessary for you guys. And Sagittarius is adventurous, expansive, open-minded, wants to lean into new things, new ideas, new concepts in like a really fun, joyful way. I feel like that's the piece that's missing and causes you to not act on opportunities that would probably bring you more of what it is you're trying to create or do. But there's some sort of block here in the heart. I also think that there's a bit of a message here with that Pleiadian energy. Whether you guys are aware of star system, starseed beings or not, you may have a real strong connection and affinity to these beings, to these star people. Maybe you are one. So there could be some guidance, communication, connection that comes through from these star beings and systems that you should be open to, I feel. And it does say give and receive heart healing. So you may not realize that you have the capacity to heal, whether it's with words, hands, deeds, just the wisdom that you have. But it feels to me like there's a block here in that heart space. So you're going to want to focus on that. And then I feel bring it up into the crown where you're clearing the crown and open to divine communication and wisdom. Because I feel like for some of you, this communication is going to come through the Pleiades energy, through the star systems, the star beings. I should be saying beings, not systems, of the Pleiadians that will help you see things from a different perspective so that you can take action on something. Now, we're going to pulling some cards here so that we can see what these things are that you're being asked to widen your perspective around. You know what I'm noticing too, we've got the number 1 here and then we've got 41 here. And for whatever reason, 4s and 1s are standing out to me for you guys. 4s are the number of solid foundations and angelic and spiritual connection, especially if they come in triples or quadruples. And 1s are new beginnings. I'm wondering if some of you are going to have some kind of a spiritual activation. Whether you do spiritual work or not, it doesn't matter. Some of you might be getting spiritually activated under this full moon. If you give yourself over to more of that faith, philosophical, open-mindedness, Sagittarian energy, rather than a more logical, practical, intellectual side of Gemini. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. And then you have that give and receive heart healing, accepting that an activation, source healing. I do think some of you are very spiritual in nature and you're wanting to have a spiritual activation, a wake up call to who you truly are. The gifts and talents that you have, you're a unique person. And I feel like you're coming into this full moon energy to be activated, but I do sense that there might be some resistance here. And again, some sort of like feeling of tunnel vision. Maybe you're looking in only one direction to have this awakening or to try to cultivate something within this energy, but there's more to the story and needing to receive this communication and activation to connect to it. I also think, just because there's so much energy here around your heart space, something about your inner child wants to be heard and understood. This could be something that acts as a block for you, a fear that you've yet to release yourself from. And it feels like once you do, these rare gifts, this beautiful golden children type energy that you hold about yourself, it expands for you in some kind of way. It's, again, very spiritually activating. I'm going to be very curious to see what the other cards are that come out with this. I'm not sure why I did that. The void. Look, communication, right? Pausing, widening your perspective before doing anything, before acting. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. And that's that great cosmic womb, inner child. Your inner child is longing to be seen, heard, understood right now. Whether this is clearing out a wound that opens up your heart and expands you spiritually, or it's a gift and talent because we've got rare gifts there that wants to be brought out that you've yet to connect to, because again, there's that tunnel vision of whatever it is that you're doing right now in your life. Give yourself over to this message 1. It's not going to be a waste of your time. In fact, it feels like it's just going to be the opposite. It's going to be something that's very profound and healing for you. That's going to bring about some sort of massive change. I definitely feel like for some of you, this might be connected to passion and purpose. All right, let's pull some tarot cards. I actually just did a quick 5-minute meditation. I just created one about inner child, about connecting to our inner child, taking the time to stop and listen to them, which is really funny. I feel like you guys would really benefit from something like that. And it's just a 5-minute one. And if you feel like you needed to go deeper, there are so many out there on the internet for free that you could do to help you with this, because I feel like it's super important for you guys. Very healing, very activating, bringing in so much communication and understanding about yourself, helping you to like see the bigger picture for yourself in your life, pieces that you missed or were not aware of coming in for you at this time. All right. We have King of Air, brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. Right. Makes sense. Looking at the bigger picture, that goes really well with that. And this is coming out on the side of challenge as well. Holy cow, balance. We've got balance twice. So you are likely feeling very imbalanced, maybe indecisive, stagnant, maybe some worry and fear around what to do. And this is the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. The void, because there's something that you haven't seen. There's a bigger picture here at play. There's more going on than meets the eye that you need to connect to. I'll show you that card there. And it says Archangel Zadkiel, so I forgot to mention that one. But yeah, like King of Air energy. And I will say, I always think that the first card, especially when it comes out like this with regular tarot, is you, kind of represents you, that you may not realize you have this capacity to be that brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic person, but you do. So this could be a couple of things. One, where you're working in a situation with group people, but I also think there's a very personal component here for you guys in this message. And that's what's in need of balance. Misaligned right now. 8 of Water. Okay, a desire to move on, to search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You've got all this blue, watery energy. I wonder if some of you are water signs or have strong placements within water signs, because I get a strong emotional energy from you guys, very empathic, very intuitive, especially with that blue there as well. Either way, 8 of Water. A desire to move on, to search for something more meaningful, spiritual, emotional growth. The way to connect to that is through this communication, spiritual connection, and embracing that void energy. Because I feel like that's the side of you that's out of balance. You might be somebody who's in this King of Air energy, just doing the work, the normal day-to-day mundane thing, but your heart is like, we're not happy here. This isn't our soul's passion and purpose. And I'm feeling this restlessness within to make a change, but afraid to act on that feeling. But there is a need for more information. So, and as this says, speaking your mind with confidence, I almost sense like a fear for some of you to want to pivot, but knowing in your heart of hearts that you need to. There's a lot of different messages I feel here for you guys. Yeah, oh my gosh, the Moon. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Needing to move forward, you are really getting pushed to make changes that are more aligned with your soul. And these psychic insights can't be received by you, that communication, that spiritual connection, if you don't give yourself over to that void energy and answer the call. You're feeling restless for a reason. You're feeling pushed towards something different for a reason. And I feel like Spirit's like on the phone dialing you up and you just haven't picked up. It feels like that. Releasing fears that hold you back. Doing this heart-centered work, this heart activation, clearing, connecting to your inner child will help you with that message one. Yeah, okay. This is it. This is exactly it. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Yeah, competing goals. My heart wants this, but my head's saying do this. This is the practical, logical thing to do, that Gemini energy. But my heart's calling me here, that Sagittarius energy. I want adventure. I want to be more aligned with my truth. This is what you're being asked to deal with, to move through. And I suspect that this connects to other people for you as well. Message one, we're like, I would disappoint these people. My family and friends would be like, you're crazy to, like, maybe, for example, give up that job and move towards doing this thing that sounds very strange to us and might not give you the financial stability that you need, at least initially. It feels like that kind of conflict, like your head and your heart are in an argument right now. And I'm here to tell you that the cards are showing that it's time to start listening to your heart, to broadening your vision, and making space to connect to this higher communication. I really feel like you're going to be activated. There's some new talents and gifts, whether you're aware of them or not, that want to be opened and expanded in a huge way, that are more aligned with your soul. This is definitely feeling connected to your passion and your purpose in this world. Let's pull a couple of moon cards. Life is conspiring for me. And you know what I love about this is it's sort of like the energies like are coming into perfect culmination for you with that full moon in Sagittarius and on the axis of the Gemini energy. It's like perfect. Couldn't have been better timing for you to give yourself over to taking a time out for this, to connecting to that something different, for facing fears that hold you back and keep you maybe more in tunnel vision and restriction. Everything's coming together for you now. All the more reason to lean into this and say yes to it for yourself. That's what the card looks like on the side. I am loved beyond measure. Definitely, maybe some of you don't feel good enough to move towards what it is you would truly love, desire, or want for yourself, or like you don't have enough, that you're not enough, that you don't have enough wisdom and guidance to do it. Like there's always just something missing. I feel like that's absolutely not true. At least it's not going to be if you give yourself over to this connection, heart healing, inner child being integrated with who you are again and being activated around these rare gifts, the spiritual awakening of sorts. Yeah, it just feels like there's been a lot of imbalance in your life with this, where you've been doing more of the societal thing, like following along the lines of expectation, and it should look like this. And, that energy of first comes love, then comes marriage, that, following societal norms. And I think it's time to look outside the box for you guys. But I would say, like, there's definitely a big, big message here overall, that it's take the time under this energy to really connect to what your truth is and what it is you're aiming for, and make sure that your heart is in coherence and alignment with your head, right? And I don't think that they are right now. And giving yourself over to meditation, I think, as well, would be really beneficial for you guys. These psychic insights that want to come through. (909) reflection. Change of perspective. Wow, look at the bigger picture, which is exactly that, change of perspective. Reflection, inner strength, wisdom, and enlightenment. There's a need for a change of perspective on whatever has taken you over now. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for the wisdom within. And then you'll just know what the right next step is. And to me, that wisdom isn't just within for you guys. I feel like it's also connected to the spiritual realm, to the Pleiadians, to your angels, because I think that you guys are very spiritually connected, more than you realize, or capable of it if you haven't been. It really, really strong message. It's time to give yourself over to this void energy, the moon, psychically connecting, communicating with the divine. You're going to receive answers to this. That enlightenment energy wants to show up for you in a big way. Yeah, so it's almost like, and it's interesting that, because it says here, if you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road that you're on. But I feel like that's that energy of you've started to make some headway or gains with, expanding yourself spiritually, understanding yourself more, but then kind of going back to where it's comfortable, back to the normal things. So it's sort of like, no, you need to give yourself over to this more fully and completely, because there is something different on the other side that's more aligned with you, your soul, your purpose. Yeah. And as it says, doing this reflective work will help you to know exactly what to do. You'll just know what the right next step is. Pay attention to 9s and 0s, but I also think 4s and 1s. I really do. I really do. I am going to end this off with a final little message here. My little angel cards. Message 1. I feel like this full moon, and I almost swore, this full moon in Sagittarius is seriously coming for you. And it's really important. It's really potent. The energy is super ripe for you to make this connection, to expand. But it all starts with reflection for you guys. Spiritual communication and connection. I just feel like you're going to come into so many truths if you do. At times, angels announce their arrival by the flutter of their wings, which feels like a sudden, gentle breeze, even when the windows are closed. Embrace their presence. Yeah, I almost wonder if you tell yourself, they're not really. It's just they're not really around me. I'm not really doing this. It's just my imagination. It's not. It's not just your imagination. Pay attention to this. Message 1. If you feel that sense of a breeze around you, or even just like if you get goosebumps on your skin or a sudden shiver, they're around. They're there trying to communicate with you. I think through numbers, I really do feel I really feel like, what am I trying to say? Slow down. Through numbers, through these feeling sensations like clairsentience, right? You might be somebody who feels more than you realize, like you getting those prickles on your skin, goosebumps, feeling a sudden breeze. Maybe even for some of you, smells for some reason is coming to my mind. Either way, you're not crazy. It's true. You really are sensing them. They really are around. And, take advantage of those moments to say, okay, what's the message? What do I need to know? I almost feel like for some of you, because we're in this Sagittarian energy, right, which is a fire sign, maybe light some candles when you do some meditations too. For some reason, I feel like there's going to be some sort of spiritual connection that happens through fire. In a positive way, not a scary way. All right, I am going to leave that there. I really hope all of you have a beautiful day and give yourself over to some of this energy. So this full moon energy lasts, it'll be felt for days before it comes, and for weeks afterwards, at least a couple of weeks. And it culminates fully in 6 months. But really take advantage of the next couple of weeks. It feels super important for you guys. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. Take care. Hello, message 2. So I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies, as I do, to save some time in the video, but we're going to look at them together. Oh my gosh, it's new moon in Gemini. So this is the full moon in Sagittarius, but it's on the Sagittarius Gemini axis. So with that polarity, and it looks like you're leaning more into that Gemini energy here. Communication is key. So needing to really be communicative under this energy at this time is going to be very important for you. But we'll see what else is going to come out with that. Solar calm. Clarify. Okay. This is coming out on the side of challenge, and it's saying solar calm. So the Sagittarian part of this, because it's fire energy, Sagittarius is usually more philosophical, joyful, playful, adventurous, adventure-seeking. But when it's out of balance, it can lead to lack of clarity, where you need to not just be sitting in your truths, you need to speak them. I feel like that's a part of the equation here for my message to choosers. What needs to be clarified? What needs to be communicated? What are you holding on to that if you don't release might burst forth in a not so pleasant way and cause conflict? Keep that in mind, message 2, because I do feel like that's a thing for some of you. There's clarification and communication definitely needed for you guys. And it's likely that this full moon energy is going to be optimal to do just that, to speak out, to say your truth, to say what it is you want, to ask for it. I don't know why. I feel like for some of you needing to ask for something. There is overlap from message 1 to 2. So if you were struggling, I feel like maybe look at message 1 to see if there's something in that one for you. First house and arrival. So that's Aries energy, fire again. Right? So you've got that fiery energy. This is activating arrival. It feels like something around communication and clarifying something brings you to some sort of truth and understanding. And it's like, I have arrived. I know what I need to do. and it's time to act on it, because Aries is all about taking action, not sitting on anything, right? Being motivated and inspired. Yeah, arrival. Coming to some sort of truth and conclusion for you guys, it seems like, through communication, clarifying things with that communication. Okay, your fire card is Pure White Dragon from Orion. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand, right? That's that arrival. But there is definitely something that needs to be spoken, a truth that needs to be given. And it's funny because I feel like you speaking your truth brings about the truth around something in some way, that clarification. I've arrived. I see the big picture now. I get it. I know what's going on. And now I can make decisions and move forward, move on, whatever it is. Yeah. And it says, this is going to transform your ascension knowledge, going into your higher self, becoming more authentically you, and leaning into what is real and true for you, what you want, what you desire. It leads you to this place of profound understanding and wisdom. This knowledge, this information, this communication, it just feels really important for you guys. Yeah. It feels like it helps you really to make a decision about, should I stay or should I go? Should I continue going left or should I pivot and go right? It's like that. All right, so let's pull some more cards. I'm also really pulled to the 16. I realize this has the number 39 in it, and I'm not really feeling that one as much. I only looked at it because I'm so pulled to that number 16. That could be important for some of you. Numerologically speaking, it goes and it reduces down to a number 7, which is a very spiritual number. So 16 or 7 could be important for you guys. Oh my gosh, Messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. And that's Messenger is communication again. I will say I was definitely touching on a message one that there could be a lot of divine wisdom coming through for them. And I feel like that's true for you guys. But I also think it's just another reiteration of how important communication is and clarifying things at this time so that you can get to the truth, speak your truth, and make decisions with this information. I do think, though, because this is coming on the side of challenge, that maybe some of you have been holding back or dismissing niggles or vibes that you've been feeling. Maybe telling yourself a story around that can't be true, because I think if that's true for some of you and you have been feeling a niggle or a restlessness or just a nudge, like a gut feeling, and you've been ignoring it, bring that back up to the surface and look at it again, because I think there's something to it. Otherwise, this messenger has not quite shown up for all of you just yet. And this is your heads up to notice it, because it can help to bring harmony and balance back in. But I will say, I really do feel like for more of you, you've already felt something, some sort of restlessness, a nudge, a gut instinct, a feeling that maybe you've been ignoring, and it's no longer able to be ignored. It has to be brought out. I also think maybe there's, for some of you, you're going to receive some divine messages that has the potential to bring you into peace and harmony. I do want to say, though, just a heads up for some of you, this is general. I feel like it might be tough, this message that comes through, because I think it will mean that some of you are going to have to do a very big change or make a big change or pivot in a way that can be uncomfortable at first because it's unknown, but ultimately it will be for your best and highest good. I do think that's going to be true for some of you. Not all of you, but for some of you. Oh, I love this. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Yes. All paths lead home. No matter what, even if you do get this sense that, oh my gosh, with this information that maybe I'm afraid to look at, this feeling that I've been ignoring, even though it's telling me I'm going to have to make all these big changes, all paths lead home. It leads you back to yourself, your soul, your center, no matter how hard it might feel. Like all these stones there winding round and round, you're still going to be you. It's sort of like becoming that onion, that peeling back layers and layers and layers that just don't serve you anymore. I feel like that is a part of the equation here, and the fear of having to go and do things completely differently, make a big change, pivot, move in a new direction, having to start fresh is daunting and scary for some of you, but all paths lead home back to you, to your inner authority. It is really time to turn your gaze within and listen to your intuition, as a saying. There's messengers coming through. There's communication. There's understanding and wisdom that's definitely guiding my message to something that's going to clarify things. I do feel like it won't be the easiest thing to start with, but it eventually leads you back to your soul self, right? Back to that center of home, that you being the home that you are, that soul, where it feels really good in the long term. I was sorry if that didn't make sense, guys. I just heard myself and thought, oh gosh, I was a little bit rambly there again, but hopefully you get the gist. And this was serious energy too. That's funny because, and then there's Orion here too. Lots of like starseed type energy. Those of us that don't really feel like quite at home here on this earth plane all the time, like a little bit of an alien ourselves. I think that that's the thing here for you guys as well. So you could find yourselves connecting to Sirius type energy, like Sirius, not actually like that's serious. And, energy from the constellation of Orion. Constellation, is that right? Is it a constellation? I don't know. Okay, 5 of water. Things not turning out the way that you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, and it says crying over spilled milk, which I would never say, but the card says that. I think it's more just about things not going the way you hoped. It is that energy of things need to change. You're being guided towards a new beginning, and the ending is uncomfortable, as most endings are, right? Because now we have to show up completely differently. It's like, what now? What's next? This is a little bit scary. It feels like that. I feel like this is just reiterating what's been showing up here and what I've been touching on. Emotionally feeling disconnected and not being able to see that 5th cup that's shining forth for you, right? Only seeing what's been hard and difficult, needing to move through that energy. Nice. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition and rewards. Nice. I feel like this is part of the challenge though for you guys. Like we're heading into what's present, what's good, but it feels like you haven't felt this sense of victory or accomplishment or being seen and recognized for all the things that you do, that being rewarded for your brilliance, your gifts, your talents, or maybe even in a connection for some of you. But it's that energy is because there's something that needs to be clarified, communicated, understood, a niggle that maybe you weren't listening to. And it's because you're meant to go in a different direction towards a new thing, a new person, a new situation. Yeah. 3 of air, great sadness. Take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. Yeah, you've been going through it, message 2. But remember, all paths lead home, back to your true, authentic self. So whatever you're going through right now, it's because it's not aligned with that part of you, the soul self, right? And so even if you're in hardship right now and things are not working out the way that you hoped, there's a reason for it. Trusting that there's a reason for it, and that this too shall pass, and you'll get to the other side of it. All really good ideas for you. But starting with that communication and clarifying things so that you don't let whatever this hardship is blow up even more or further is going to be a really good idea. Because I really think that you guys are going to be led towards something better in your life, whether it's a better person, situation, community, or job, purpose. The Magician. Nope. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical, and it's the Magician energy. Number 1, there it is. After this great sadness, you move on, owning your power, standing in your power, feeling magnetized and ready to go, because you are the Magician, that water into wine energy. You are entirely capable, and it says you have the resources. So if there's fear that you might not be able to do something, create something, activate something, especially if you're going on your own, and I do think some of you are, like entrepreneurial spirit perhaps, you really can do this. Otherwise it wouldn't be showing up for you. But one thing has to come to an end. Communication needs to happen, clarification, receiving, trusting these gut instincts so that you can then move through the harder things into the better things. It's okay to be sad and disappointed when something didn't go the way that you thought that it was going to. But we often ruminate in that energy for far too long and use it as an operating system. So be careful of that too. Things just don't work out for me, and this situation is proof that I shouldn't do this thing that I know in my heart I would love, that does feel aligned, but I can't trust it because of these things that didn't work out. Do not use that as a reason to not move forward and stand in your power and go for something that is aligned with you. If it didn't work out, it was because it wasn't for you, right? No matter what this is. Nice. I love where we're going. Queen of Fire energy. that's also, like an Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy, really leading into passion, motivation, and inspiration. Next to that Magician, it's perfect. It's like chef's kiss. These two energies coming together. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Yep. You are definitely realizing that you need to go in a new direction. And I think this is really hard. We struggle to hold on. We struggle to let go. It's like clinging onto that branch for fear that because of things that have happened in the past. But this is exactly what you're being pushed to do. Message to trust in your own abilities, your gifts, your talents, and your capabilities to create a life that you want. You know what's funny? For some of you, well, this does feel more like passion, career oriented. For others, for some reason, I feel like, have some of you gone through a separation or divorce and you're going to have to go out on your own and do it again? And there's fear around, am I going to be able to manage this? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to have enough resources to take care of myself, maybe potentially family? I feel like the answer is yes. Again, general reading, so that's not going to ring true for all of you, but I feel like for some of you that might be a part of the equation here. Right, let's pull some moon cards. Yeah, and I really think that you're going to be helped here too with that messenger, bringing harmony and balance back in a serious energy, like some sort of healing that wants to happen for you too. I think you're going to be helped with how to navigate any difficulties that you're having to deal with right now, showing you how to bring everything back into peace and harmony and see the truth around situations. Got New Moon energy on the back of the card there. I let go, I release, I am within perfect possibility. I think you guys should use this as an affirmation for yourself at this time, to breathe out and really trust in yourself and that you're capable of independently going your own way, moving towards a new thing and being able to handle it, whatever's happening. I let go, I release, I am within perfect possibility. Yes, you are. That's funny, New Moon, and then we've got this full moon on the back of this card. I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. Also a really good affirmation for you guys. Claim this as true for you. Fake it till you make it, even if you don't feel this. Say this to yourself over and over again. I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I don't want. 100%. And that tells me that you're a strong manifester, right? Even if you don't realize that you do have the capacity to manifest what it is that you want. I will say too, because this is like a dark moon, new moon, and then we've got super moon, full moon energy. I almost feel like the next fiery full moon might bring about massive positive change for you guys. And I can't tell you exactly when that is. I'm not sure. But for some reason, that's popping into my head. So I'm sharing it, that whenever the next full fiery moon is, feels like there's some sort of culmination, everything coming to a head in a good way for you guys. If you start believing in your own self again and moving through these hardships, trusting your gut instincts and moving towards something new or someone new and trusting that you've got this, that you've got all the resources you need to do it, or to start over for some of you if it's in like a love kind of situation. All right. I'll pull an angel card for you guys. All right, that card flew right down. So we're going to take it. Oh my gosh. It's 1234, or you could look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4. It's sort of like you're being given a map. Then here's the steps to follow. The first, second, third, fourth. It feels like that right out of the gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's happening as it should be. Follow the steps. It says personal growth, oneness, and manifesting goals, connection and completion. First, focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts. Then expand your horizons and permit yourself to try something new. So many positive shifts are in store for you. The world around you is changing in favor of your intentions. Yes, if something didn't work out before, if something, that you put effort and energy into didn't turn out the way that you'd hoped, and you feel like you put a lot of yourself into it and it was very disappointing and exhausting, it's okay to feel sad about that, but don't get stuck there, because you've got a lot of new things on the horizons, positive new changes, but you must get into this magician, queen of fire energy to believe that you can do this, that you can manifest it, that you have everything that you need, and that no matter what happens, all paths lead to home. And it says connection too as a key word. I feel like for you guys, some of this connection is spiritual connection, but for that energy that I felt, that isn't going to be for all of you, where it might be that some of you are going on your own after a separation or maybe a recent divorce or something. I feel like there's new connection coming up for you guys too. But this could take a little while. Like for some reason, it could be anywhere from now over the next 6 months. For whatever reason, I'm feeling like that. But it's about being open to that connection, right? As this says again, first focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts. Then expand your horizons and permit yourself to try something new. Allow yourself to believe that even if it didn't work out before, it was because it wasn't for you and there's something better. The world around you is changing in favor of your intentions, right? I'm a magnet to what I want. I repel what I don't want. I let go. I release. I am within perfect possibility. I really feel like those would be great affirmations for you guys. And it is, I have a lot of empathy for you guys, because it is really hard to regroup. And I've been there myself after you've put a lot of time and effort and energy into something or someone, only to have to start all over again. But it requires so much bravery. So just remind yourself that you're braver than you're giving yourself credit for, that you can cultivate the courage that you need to do this. Okay, at times you may receive a series of favors or unexpected gifts for no apparent reason. The angels are here to remind you that you are deserving of all good things. Yes, you are. I don't know why, but I really do feel like for somebody, this is in love, not just passion or purpose. I definitely think that's there for some of you too. But for some reason, it's sort of like not putting yourself up on the shelf for the rest of your life if you were in a connection that didn't work out. Like, reminding yourself that you are worthy and deserving of something new, something better. I don't know why. I can't seem to shake that feeling. But again, at times you receive a series of favors or unexpected gifts for no apparent reason. The angels are here to remind you that you are deserving of all good things. When opportunity knocks, answer. Don't be afraid to open the door to opportunity, or if this opportunity presents themselves as a new person or a love interest, at the very least, be open to it. Message 2. All right. I am going to leave that there. I hope all of you have the most beautiful day, and give yourself over to these energies, especially up here to start with, receiving, finding a way to get back into that balance and allowing communication to be spoken through you, as you, and to you. And don't lean into that conflicting solar energy. You want calm to receive clarification, not conflict. All right. I really am going to let that go now. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. So I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies, but we will look at them together. I always say that and do that to save some time in the video. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So whether this is commitment to love, business, a concept, an idea, remains to be seen. But either way, if you're going through some challenging things right now and challenges in general, it is basically Spirit's way of saying, how bad do you want the things that you think or you say you want? Are they really aligned with who you are? So keep that in mind. If you're going through challenges, it could just be Spirit's way of making sure that you really truly are aligned with this and that you're committed to moving through whatever bumps along the way you're dealing with and being able to navigate them without giving up, essentially. Wow, North Node, future. Okay, and that's coming on the side of challenge. So this is about facing your true north. This is really interesting because it says your commitment is being tested, right? Do you really want the things that you say you want? Are you facing your true north? Is this something that it really is aligned with what you want, what you envision for your future? It's funny because I'm feeling for some of you, yes, it is. And it's about not giving up and moving through the hardships, like taking a breath, figuring it out and keep, and just having the attitude, I'm going to keep going. I will get through this. But for others, I almost wonder if it's because you are being maybe pushed or guided to go in a different direction. We'll see what else comes out. I'm very curious about this. Facing your true north. Most definitely a thing here for you guys. Okay, we've got Aquarius energy and it says collaborate. And right away, I'm noticing the number 11, right? That's a spiritual gateway, a new door. So collaborate. If you are stuck right now and you're going through some hardships and challenges and you're frustrated, it may be that you don't have enough information or that you do need to collaborate on something to receive some help, guidance, wisdom, information that you don't have, whatever gifts and talents others might have that could help your situation. So being open to that, right? Aquarius is all about community and connection. So leaning into this energy is a really good idea for you guys. Being open to collaboration. This doesn't mean that you give over your entire vision of whatever it is that you're trying to do. It just means that you're open to the ideas and concepts that others have that may be of benefit to you. This makes me feel like maybe more of this is these tests and trials and tribulations are to make sure that you don't quit and you don't give up no matter how hard it gets, that there's always a way through. Perhaps in the past, some of you, that was your MO, like because of all the challenges, maybe you told yourself a story that it shouldn't be this hard. And so this must not be the thing. And so maybe you've given up too prematurely. That's just something I'm feeling. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, Magenta Dragon enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom, awaken your soul memories and higher spiritual understanding. It says prepare for accelerated ascension. Okay, so you are definitely meant to be doing a unique thing, message 3, because Magenta Dragon is very rare. And people who relate to the magenta energy, I would recommend maybe some of you look that up, tend to be very rare, very unique, very different, which is very connected to Aquarius energy as well. Aquarians tend to think like in outside the box. They're quite quirky. People often will deem them as weird or strange, but it's really just that they have a different perspective and a new way of looking at things that we hadn't thought of, but it's very needed in a lot of situations. Maybe that's you, or maybe those are the type of people you need to collaborate with. I do think you're a unique individual as well, though. This is talking about awakening your soul memories to have a better understanding, a higher spiritual understanding about your situation so that you can accelerate your life and whatever this is that you might be going through right now that's been difficult and challenging. It's very succinct. It's very in line, these cards. I think maybe this is more about just keep facing your true north. Don't give up. Don't give in. Look around you. Look for the helpers. You're unique. What you bring to the table is unique and needed, and it's different. And you shouldn't change that for anyone or anything. Yeah, and this is saying awaken your soul memories too, for higher understanding. So doing a little bit of a deep dive into your soul memories, because there might be something in there from your past that you either need to release or pull on. For some, I'm getting this feeling of like pulling on it. Something that you hadn't thought of that needs to come back up to the surface again, because there's that uniqueness I really feel with you, especially with that Magenta Dragon. Okay, one card fell down there. That's going to be the first one. Whoops. Oh, geez. All right. Terrible. Lost lands. Oh my gosh. Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Ooh, okay. This is a strong message for you guys. Awaken your soul memories. And then you've got soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. That's that feeling I was getting. I don't think it's something that you need to release. I think it's something more that you need to pull on. You have gifts and talents that you haven't even realized. They haven't been fully realized or actualized. Maybe there's been little hints, but there's more to the story about you. Maybe doing a past life meditation would be a good idea for you guys. Yeah, because whatever it is that you're doing or trying to create or working on, you've done it before. And so there is a soul memory there, and it might just need to be activated, and it will help move your situation forward too. And you know, this Aquarius energy, this collaboration, this might be like soul tribe people where you've done these things before with them. So pay attention to anyone that comes into your life. You're like, I feel like I've known you my whole life. Where like there's an instant connection. I feel like that could be a thing that shows up for some of you. Double mission. Lightworker starseed. Serve the world by being you. There is so much about being unique and quirky and your weird self. I feel like maybe some of you have kept some of these, maybe what you consider to be stranger aspects of yourself hidden for fear that this is not going to be well received. Meanwhile, I feel like it's the exact opposite. If it's what's needed, bringing more of that strangeness and uniqueness out. Serve the world by being you, double mission. Yeah. And with that magenta dragon, which is very rare, you're a rare person with rare gifts that need to be brought out into this world in some way that people will benefit from. But it only is going to be, it's only going to work to the best of everybody, for the best of, for everybody. Geez, let me say that again. It's only going to be something that manifests into something prosperous and abundant if you really, really, really lean into the most unique aspects of yourself and allow them to be seen in their full brilliance. Hopefully I'm making sense. I know that was a long pause there and a lot of thinking and fumbling of words. And I think it's because I think I'm missing something I'm supposed to be saying and I haven't touched on it. But I'm just gonna leave it and trust that it's gonna come through if it needs to. Double mission. Yeah, you know, this feeling of like maybe some of you moonlight and you dabble around with something that might be seen as a little weird or strange might be more of who you're meant to be and how you're supposed to show up than you realize. I think that's the feeling I was getting, but was getting all jumbled up in all the other thoughts and feelings that were happening at the same time. You're definitely a unique individual with a unique spark that has many gifts and talents, not fully realized, not fully seen, that need to be brought out for the benefit of all. But like I was trying to say before, it only works if you allow it, the most authentic parts of yourself, those weirdness, that weirdness, that quirkiness to be fully seen. Jeez, I'm having a hard time talking. 7 of water, a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Yeah, sitting on things, that really goes hand in hand with that commitment is being tested. You say you want this is in your wheelhouse. This is you facing your true north. You have to get decisive around this and not overthink it. A complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. That research energy too, right? Looking outside the box, collaborating, not feeling like you have to do it all yourself. Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation. This full moon is all about bringing truths to the surface, a challenging beginning. And it does show that here, right? Because you're feeling like you're being tested. Am I doing the right thing? It's not, everything's been kind of crunchy and difficult, not smooth, not easy. That doesn't mean that you should give up on it or that it's not the right thing, right? Because you're going to lean into these, even though you're feeling like disconnected from this energy likely right now. This is what's coming. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations, coming to the truth around something, even though it's been a challenging beginning for you guys. Like, definitely, this is about how bad do you want the things you say you want. Don't give up when it gets hard or crunchy. Keep on keeping on. Nice. Look at this. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things. You've got 10 of Earth, which is like pentacles, right? So something that ends up leading to prosperity and abundance. This is what being committed to this thing and facing your true north brings about for you. Even though this is an energy that I feel like that's eluding you right now, and there's likely some fear around it. Can I really do this thing? Is it really going to create the stability that I want? The answer is yes. Six of Air. Things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. Nice. Six of Air. Yeah, it just really keeps saying the same thing over and over again in these cards, which is keep on keeping on. It's just a test to see how bad you want these things, if you're willing to go above and beyond, to work through it, to become and bring about your most authentic self in the situation, because it is you facing your true north and it is right for you. Anything that you're going through that's hard or difficult, you'll learn, you'll grow, and you're going to come out the other side. That's what these cards are pointing to, right? Things are looking at the end of a difficult situation. Like, it's that energy of this too shall pass. Whatever you're going through, it isn't meant to break you or to cause you to go backwards or to give up. It's meant to fortify you and strengthen you. Seven of Earth. Look at this. Seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. Unnecessary. I feel like that's the best part of this message. Worrying unnecessarily, right? Seeds are well planted. They will grow. They will bear fruit. You've got that 10 of Earth. It is the Pentacles right at the center with abundance and prosperity. Ships coming in. It's all going to pay off, even though you're going through some harder times right now with it. But it's coming to an end, the difficulty. Seeing your way forward and through is on the horizon. It is connected to collaboration and other people who are likely to help you with this. You do have a double mission in this lifetime. So more than one thing at this time for you could be true. Be open to that. This is just a temporary difficulty, a temporary situation. And there is a need for a bit of pause, to step back, understand what needs to be done, what parts of you need to be brought out more, where does more of your uniqueness need to be applied in your situation, and who are those around you or coming towards you that you should be taking note of and listening to and collaborating with. And, also those soul memories, giving yourself some time in this energy of pause to connect to aspects of yourself that have been forgotten or fragmented. Because I think you're going to be surprised at how certain things end up being really easy for you. And it just feels like it's because you've done them before. They're in your soul's blueprint. You've lived that the energy of whatever these situations are before. And so once you activate them, it starts to fall into place. It starts to become easier. Yeah. It just, the soul memory energy seems so important to me. So maybe start there, message 3. I'm going to pull some moon cards. All right. Okay, I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. And, it just feels like it does connect to that authenticity about you, that rarity, that uniqueness. I feel like it's connected to that, but this would be a really good affirmation for you guys. I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. Make you a priority. Make discovering who you truly are, what you bring to the table, a priority, and bringing up those gifts. I feel like this is how you nourish your soul. Message 3. Embracing these aspects of yourself. I will not remain stuck. I choose change. That is a great affirmation. I will not remain stuck. I choose change. Yes. That's that commitment energy being tested, right? You can move through this. You can navigate it. Don't go backwards. If you have to pause, pause. Wait for these people to come into your path. Be open to collaboration, connecting to, gifts and talents that you have that you've not fully realized. This is all going to help create that change and bring in that abundance. Because, otherwise it feels really good for you guys. Like you really are doing the work. It's been difficult. It's been crunchy, as I say. It's been not a smooth ride, but in the end, it's all going to be worth it. Like the hardships, because it will fortify you. It will strengthen you if you allow, if you frame it as that. These are just lessons. I'm going to move through it. I'm not going to give up. Oops. Man, your cards have been a little bit crazy, and there's 3 here. Taking all 3 of these. Well, let's just go with it. We've got 1, 2, 2, 1. Taking action. Moderation, patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, self-realization, taking action. Okay, time to implement long-cherished ideas. You're on the right track towards making your dreams and visions a reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are being sent your way. Collaboration. Happiness and new opportunities are at hand. Trust in the process. That's a fantastic message. Pay attention to 1s and 2s, especially around when it comes to thoughts and ideas around what you need to take action around. Right? If those numbers seem to pop up into your awareness at the time of the thought of, should I take action on this? It's likely a yes. Oh gosh. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This came up in another one. That's like following steps, or 1234. It says personal growth, oneness, and manifesting goals, connection, and completion. First, focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts. Then expand your horizons and permit yourself to try something new. So many positive shifts are in store for you. The world around you is changing in favor of your intentions. Yes, even though you can't see it right now, it's all under the surface. Things are happening. Things are being stirred up. Change is upon you in a good way. It's just that energy of don't give up. Right, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there as well. So definitely 1s and 2s really strong here. Personal growth too. Like with this manifesting and personal growth and oneness, connection, it just feels like this collaborative energy is so important for you guys. And I don't know why I keep feeling like I have to bang on about it. Maybe it's because you've been resistant to being open to speaking what you want to create or do with others, to letting everybody in on your ideas. But I think it's time to kind of open up your mind a little bit more to that, if that's true for you guys, if that's the reason why I keep coming back around to that energy. 0s and 5s. Now 5s are the number of change, and 0 is God force energy. It says friendship. Success, knowledge, friendship, impatience, freedom, and optimism. When chances present themselves, seize them and do something out of the ordinary. Whether in your professional or personal life, you will find success by welcoming creative impulses and having faith in your own abilities. Trust in chance and take risks on opportunities that could change your life for the better. That goes so well with what I was trying to say. All of these, actually, these cards go well together, even though they're completely different numbers. Like taking action, making connections, friendship, all of these things are on the horizon for you. They're all there waiting and ready for you to lean into them. All good messages for you guys. Pay attention to these numbers when it comes to these particular things, though, because I feel like they're going to be little, heaven sent messages of like, yes, follow that line of thought, and When opportunities present themselves, it's like, yes, seize them, seize these moments. They're happening. They're coming in for you for a reason. All right. Oh, okay. When a dove flies into your day, it's a messenger from the angels delivering a promise of inner peace and harmony. Oh, I love that. So when you're in this difficult energy, and I think that you are right now, message 3, pay attention and take notice of any doves coming into your awareness. They're letting you know that this too shall pass, or that at the very least, you're coming to the end of the harder cycle around your situation, that you've passed this test and you're moving forward now. Just have faith. When a dove flies into your day, it's a messenger from the angels delivering a promise of inner peace and harmony. Yeah. So pay attention to when you start to notice these messengers show up for you, because I really feel like they're letting you know you're coming to the end of that difficulty, and those new doors, those new gateways, new people are being headed your way, and that connection to the soul, memories, and gifts and talents that you have. The doves will be speaking to you at this time, message 3. Trust and believe that they also bring about major healing, especially after hardship and grief. So there's that. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you guys have the most amazing day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. So I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies as I normally do, just to save a little bit of time in the video, but we will look at them together. We've got, okay, it's new moon energy, and it's new moon in Scorpio, so water energy, and it says work through your fears. So there might be some untended to fears and emotions that you're dealing with right now that have been maybe acting as a cloud, an emotional block of some sort, and this full moon is going to give you the opportunity to move through them, to see them with more clarity and truth, very likely. Let's see what else is coming out. Okay. Ascendant and entrance. Okay, so this is coming on the side of challenge. So it feels to me that this is highlighting that you haven't felt like you can move forward, that you've been able to move on. This could be something to do with an emotional connection that's been hard for you, or anything that it's caused emotional upset or turmoil within you, and it's making you feel stuck and blocked, and like you're spinning your wheels and your life's not really going anywhere and nothing's really changing. So therefore that doorway, that new entrance, this new beginning, it's just sort of like it's always on the outside of you, always on the periphery, and you're not able to access it. I suspect that that's not likely true, but it feels that way for a lot of you likely at this time. And if this is showing up for you, it's probably because the time is really optimal. The energy is really supportive of you healing out some things and working through your fears and your emotions. It could even be for somebody, there's like a fear that blocks you from walking through that door, that it has been opened for you, and you've just been afraid to walk through it because you have fears around it. The what if energy, anxiety, maybe even imposter syndrome for somebody, like I'm not sure if I'm good enough to do this or go towards this, or I'll be accepted. It could be a million different things. Wow. Okay, we've got Chiron energy, and it says heal. So you could be dealing with and have been hitting on a chironic wound. This is a deep wound often in us, something within us that does tell us that we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not beautiful enough, we're not worthy in some kind of way. And there's massive healing that needs to happen around it. And it manifests for you as fear. I'm afraid to move towards that person, this new thing, to go after what I want. There's a lack of trust within yourself and belief within yourself. And the time has come to heal this out so that you can enter through a new beginning, a new doorway, feeling like you've released this energy from your body, your soul, your heart, and move forward with, almost like renewed, refreshed. That's snake too. We're in the year of the snake. This whole year might be very revealing for you if you allow for healing to start to happen, where you feel like, you move through one door of healing and you've released something, you're feeling better, and then you bump against another one. If that's you and that resonates and it feels like every time you turn a corner, I think I've done the work and then I hit against something again, it's probably because you have a higher purpose. You're meant for more. You're likely very spiritual, even if you don't realize that you are. Like, intuitive, empathic, psychically connected in some way. Because I do often feel like those that have to go through really hard healing work and facing all their fears and their demons so that they can keep ascending is because they have a higher purpose, a higher calling. And I feel like that's part of the equation here for some of you. Hey, it's the silver lunar dragon, so it is the moon dragon. Bathes you in divine feminine light. So intuition, empathy, that energy that I was just touching on. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your casual chakras. Right. I think that this kind of lends into needing to be present. Like once we've done this healing, really we need to ground back into our bodies and be in the here and now. Because fear happens when we're thinking too far ahead or we're going back into the past, as though we can change it or fix it when we can't, but getting really anxious about what's been, causing us to fear what could be. It's sort of like that. Either way, you've got that silver lunar dragon energy around you at this time that wants to bathe you in divine and feminine light, the light of intuition, nurturing, harmony, peace, intuition, all those kinds of energies. All right. I don't know why, but this rainbow color is really sticking out to me. I'm wondering if rainbows are going to be some form of spiritual communication for you guys, like seeing rainbows when you're having a particular thought or feeling, like they speak to you some way. They're like messages, or somebody sending you a message through rainbows, maybe a passed on loved one, a spiritual guide. I don't know. I just feel like maybe some of you are going to start seeing rainbows. Rainbows come after the rain, after we're in dark energy, fear, emotions that need to be healed out. But I'm very connected to that. A new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. Yeah, I get this feeling of what once was lost can now be found. So if you've lost sight of something, if you've been through something that has created this emotional fear within you, where there's this big wound, and so you've kind of stepped back, you've stopped doing certain things, showing up a certain way, being more authentic, it's time to get back into that energy, because you have some sort of connection, purpose related to healing yourself. I feel here, message 4. And you need to get back into that vision. You need to hold that vision, because this is coming on the side of challenge, suggesting this is something that's been a bit lost with you, with that vision that you once had, a belief that you once held. I think that some of you are healers in some kind of way. Yeah. Called soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Yeah. But you're afraid. There's fear around this. There's a story. There's a chironic wound that needs to be healed. These fears are self-induced. They're not real. Even if you can pull in an experience or two from the past where you're like, but I did this thing and then this happened and it created this problem, that doesn't make it real or true for you, right? You have rare gifts, you have talents, you have things that the world needs in some way, or maybe even that a person might need in a connection of some sort, like as an add-on, because I feel like that might be a thing for some of you. But you need to be willing to be seen. You need to be willing to face these fears and heal at the parts of it that keep you stuck and in fear, feeling like you're not good enough, capable enough, where your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth has taken a hit. You're being called to step up. Yeah, soul gifts and training, absolutely. And it's that divine feminine energy again, right? That's showing up there. So whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. There's likely some creativity that you have too, where you're a nurturing person. You have a lot of good creative ideas. That again, that intuition needing to be leaned on more, utilized more by you guys. All right, let's pull some more cards here for you guys. Something about some perceived failures from the past, or maybe literal failures. I feel like for some of you, that might be a thing that keeps you stuck in believing that that's just going to happen again because for whatever reason, fill in the blank. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not, just not enough. Something that you feel like you failed at the past. Balance, Archangel Zadkiel, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. So this is coming in the more difficult energy, right? It's happening, keep holding the vision, ascendant, entrance, not moving, right? Wait for perfect timing. If something wasn't working out, if you were bumping up against hardship and it was creating this energy of fear within you that's definitely connected to something from the past that you were bumping up against, it wasn't because you're wrong or you got something wrong or because you're not good enough. It was just divine timing because something needs to be brought into better balance and needs to be healed out before you move forward. That doesn't mean we let go of the vision we once had. It just means we step back and make healing and nurturing ourselves and understanding ourselves a priority. The Dreamer. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. That zero, that God force energy. These are lost parts of you. Message 4 that need to come back. That dreamer energy, the one that was holding a vision, that's meant to be doing something, I think, rather profound on this earth that helps to heal others in some kind of way. But first we must heal ourselves. Really strong message for you guys. And this is saying taking a leap of faith, following your dreams, facing those fears, right? Because it's going to bring about unexpected opportunities that are quite good for you, that are meant for you. Yeah. So working through your fears, and right at the center of that goes with this so well, is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights, right? This is the energy you must let go of, expecting the worst. You've probably had to be in fight or flight mode a lot of your life, or had to deal with situations where by not expecting the worst and preparing your body for bad things to happen, you'd be caught off guard and not be able to handle a situation. That can be something from childhood. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. And I feel like now this is like a soul blueprint, a pattern, some sort of trauma, something that happened when you were a kid, that fight or flight response. I keep coming back to that. You need to address this at this time. And this full moon is going to provide the energy to do just that, to start to heal this out, to see the truth around it so that you can move forward without that fear, and step up as you're being called to do into your soul self, into your purpose, your passion, what you're being called to bring to the world in some kind of way. Letting go of these negative thoughts and feelings and the energy of holding on to negative prophecy, lest you do fulfill that, right? Because where our energy flows is where our energy goes. So if we start manifesting this idea that something bad's going to happen, then sometimes it does, right? Because we're so much in that lower energy. So be really mindful of that. Message 4. I know we never intend for that to be the case, but we can draw that to us if we stay in this negative energy for too long. 7 of Fire, defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground and choose your battles wisely. Now we've got that fiery energy coming in, right? That Sagittarian energy. And in my intro, I talked about this can be done without being aggressive. It can be done in an assertive way. And that may be what you're being called up to do, right? Because you should be standing your ground around something. You should be holding your vision and answering the call to step up into your soul gifts in some kind of way, be seen differently, do something differently. Do not go backwards with this. Do not lean into the fears and the negative beliefs that you have around this. You should be standing your ground, because whatever vision it was that you once had or believed in that maybe has been lost at this time, that dreamer aspect of you that you let go, it held its weight in water. There was something to it. It was true. There was divinity within it. soul truth and connection, and reconnecting to that is going to be really important for you guys at this time. So if you have to defend your beliefs and stand your ground, do just that. And I really do think, because I get a strong empathic energy from you guys, healer energy, that you can do that without creating more conflict. You can do this in a diplomatic, assertive way. Nice. The Empress, Archangel Gabriel, lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams and nurture yourself and others. Yes, I love that this is coming out in the outcome position, because it definitely feels like this for you guys. You are the nurturers. You're sensitives, which is probably why dealing with some of this energy is so hard for you. And you know, that lunar dragon is connected to the divine feminine, and you're being asked to be bathed in divine feminine light. Doesn't say lemon light, divine feminine light, because you need to bring back these aspects of yourself. I really feel like you've disconnected from the more spiritual, intuitive, nurturing aspect of you. Male or female, again, it doesn't matter. These energies need to be brought back. They're meant to be utilized in some way. Yeah, and this brings about that lavish abundance, right? You needing to give birth to these dreams, bringing them back out, no longer tamping them down, facing your fears around what these are, and trusting that they're there for a reason, and you're meant to do something with them. You are being called to step up into your soul gifts and start training, as it says, for your soul's mission, your soul's purpose, passion, calling. I'm going to pull a couple of moon cards here. All right. All right. Well, that was easy to fill out. These are the two that fill out. I'll go with this one first. I flow towards my goal. I am strongly protected as I go. That last sentence there. I dropped the card. I am strongly protected as I go. I don't think all of you feel quite safe within yourself even, but safe to even follow these dreams, these ideas, these hunches, and hold the vision. There's something around it, that fight or flight response that I keep feeling for you guys, that keeps you feeling like I always have to be prepared for the other ball to drop and for everything to go sideways. I do think that maybe that has some root or trauma from your childhood, like rooted in your childhood, some kind of trauma. One sec, guys, I have to pause the video and pick up that card. Yeah, I flow towards my goal. I am strongly protected as I go. You really are safe. And I feel like you're somebody who has quite a large spiritual team around you, even if you don't realize it. And, you know, I feel like you have more access to them than you realize as well. So calling them in when you feel scared, when those fears are really rising up in you, and asking them to level your sense of faith, trust, and belief in what you're doing and in yourself, that any habits or patterns that you cultivated in childhood or in the past that made you feel like you always had to be ready for something to go bad, wrong, or sideways and have to deal with it, is not an energy that you need to hold on to anymore. I shine my light outwards for all to see. Being called, stepping into your soul gifts, defending your beliefs, going back into the dream, or holding the vision. This is very synchronized, this reading. Yeah, it's time to step up and be seen. And I know there's a lot of fear around that. And I understand how strong of a pull fear can have on all of us. But just like, you know, just like fear, and fear is contagious too, right? When we're in the energy of fear and worry and scared, we tend to attract those kinds of people to around us too. So that it's like a contagion. It's contagious, this fear, right? So be careful of the company you keep. And if you have fearful people around you who are prone to anxiety and negative thinking, because shining your light for everyone to see requires courage, and courage is also contagious. And that's the kind of contagion you want to be, and that you want to attract, is people who are brave and courageous, who lift you up, who tell you can do this, who say, no matter what, you can make this happen, and I believe in you. And, you know, that would also step up and do the right thing for themselves as well, because they're choosing bravery and courage. Surround yourself by those kinds of people, message 4, because there's a part of me that feels like maybe that's something that you're lacking right now, is those kinds of energies around you, especially with needing to defend your beliefs and decisions. All right, cards are just flying out here. Okay. So we've got 23, 23, or 2323. Those numbers are going to be important for you. So pay attention to them when they come into your sphere of awareness. It says judgment, karma, warning, judgment, influence, power, cycles, change, and rebirth. It says karma will be paying you a visit. Release the need to control because you cannot force things. Learn your lessons so that you don't repeat in the future. Make some space for new experiences. So, right, this is that being mindful, right? Not allowing opportunities that are presenting themselves for you to step up and do the thing that you know is right for you, lest it passes you by and you have to go through a new karmic cycle of learning, healing, kind of being in the shadows again, where things might just not feel quite right because you're not in that soul self, soul purpose, passion, because we chose that we need more healing. We chose to step back. We chose to step away. Being careful of allowing that kind of energy to take hold and take over because it's showing up so strongly here. Using sound judgment, giving yourself over, give yourself some time to step back, really look at things, reconnect to these lost aspects of yourself that are more soulful, intuitive, connected to that divine feminine energy of creativity, nurturing, etc., and empathy too. And standing your ground around things that you know are best for you without creating that conflict, right? Because you don't want to create negative karma here around conflict. It's easy to blow up, especially if we've been dealing with hard people in situations where we're feeling like we're having to defend our beliefs. But there is, again, a way to do this that's diplomatic, that's assertive, where you're able to speak your truth and say your piece without burning a bunch of bridges. And I just feel like this card's a bit of a heads up for you guys. And this is saying make some space for new experiences, right? So start with that healing energy up here. All right, I am going to pull a final message here for you guys. Oh gosh, okay, there we go again. Another card that fell out. A white feather in an unexpected location assures that you're on the right path and that you are not alone. There's a lot of that energy here too, right? You're strongly protected. You really aren't alone. And I do feel like some of you are dealing with hard people and situations, and so you definitely are feeling alone. And there's a bit of a heads up. Don't burn the bridges. You've got this. Step into your true soul self as a way to navigate the situation. And I feel like you will come out the other side very unscathed, like when you're in that soul energy of that intuition, empathy, psychically connected and inclined. When you're operating from that, I think that you're unstoppable. You're quite powerful, whether you realize it or not. But pay attention to feathers along your path. They're guiding you. They're letting you know that you're not alone. If you're feeling sad or heavy in those moments, ask for their love, for their energy to buoy up your sense of confidence in yourself, to make you feel safe and protected. Also, I just realized this card was flipped over too, so we're going to take that. When a dove flies into your day, it's a messenger from the angels delivering a promise of inner harmony and peace. Love that. That goes really well. I know, just white feather, white dove. Okay. White feather, white dove. So, and doves are very much connected to healing, grief, moving through fear, worry, letting you know that things are going to get better, that the sense of peace and healing is on its way to you. But white birds, white feathers, doves in general are going to be speaking to you right now, acting as messengers. Again, when a dove flies into your day, it's a messenger from the angels delivering a promise of inner harmony and peace, letting you know it's on its way, that you're moving through these harder cycles towards better ones that are more aligned with your true soul self. Yeah, I think a lot of healing is going to be shipped your way, your message for, but it feels like it's for such good reason that ultimately leads you to a beautiful new beginning, a beautiful new place where opportunities are going to come in, where you're in your power again in that Empress energy. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys.